In fact, I was just looking at your latest investor deck at Safaricom. And what struck me in this particular deck was the emphasis on talent, building a home of engineering, Safaricom engineering community, industry digital talent. And your CEO really talked about that. The other one is the youth platform. I think what you call Safaricom Hook. Would you like to expound on those two a little bit? A bit of history, where you are at today, and what the vision is for these two platforms.
Yeah, so quite exciting. Actually, Ali, about 2 weeks ago, we had our board strategy session.
Okay.
Just talking about going into 2030. And the first opening presentation was about the home of engineering talent.
Okay.
And they were quite excited to see where we're going. But we started talking about numbers. Now we're about 850 in my team. We started talking about growing this home of engineering talent.
Out of those 850, how many engineers?
They're all engineers, but
Okay.
over 600 of them are software engineers.
Okay.
And then now you take also our engineers on the network side. In total, probably at least we boast minimum 1,000 engineers, at least a sixth of our headcount in Safaricom, our organization. But this came from, Safaricom's a young company, about 23 years now. And we came
So a young adult, basically.
A young adult now.
Okay.
And started as a telco. And eventually, with M-Pesa coming in, became I would say a fintech and telco. But then in this new transformation, we're talking about becoming a tech company. And one of the things that tech companies do is that they build things. And the people who build them are engineers. But also what tech companies have done successfully, and I would be in amazement when I would watch, I've probably watched every single launch that Steve Jobs did of a new iPhone or even the iPods.
Yes.
And the engineering stories would always lead, unlike telcos, where it would be connectivity and people talking. The launches, anything that's done by a tech company, even the OpenAI recent summits, they talk about the engineering. And so we strongly believe that those who tell stories rule the world.
Okay.
And so with our organization, we got an opportunity to tell our stories.
So engineering on one side.
Yes.
Becoming critical.
Because as Africans, and one of the things about Decode This, and it took us so long to get the theme, to get the entire setup and how it looked, Ali. So as much as we had the tech with it
was quite impressive,
with the little circuit boards, we had the African colors of, I would say very much, I love red and orange and green and black. And so we blended the African piece, and our opening act was the dance and kind of channeling some of Wakanda, which is a big future tech city, but also our African dances and shields and sisal. And so we are meshing our engineering story with Africa as well.
With the Africa story. Because, Africa, if you go back, and Ali, probably you're most familiar, to Timbuktu and what was happening in Mali, that was the home of science and learning. And even Africa is the home of astronomy and navigation. And the ancient kingdoms of Africa were where people would come to study. 100%.
Unfortunately, 100%. A lot of these were taken to Europe, and that history was destroyed. And we tend to think that these things came from the West. So we're also channeling the spirits of innovation in Africa and helping the children of the soil to realize that they're not inferior. And so at Safaricom, we said we want 70% of our software in the next 3 years to be built within. 70%. And
where is it at now, if you don't mind my asking?
So now we are approaching about 40.
Okay.
And we've moved from channels. All our channels we build. We do not outsource our channels. Our first, I would say, little project was Safaricom app.
Yes.
It was being done by a company from India. There, no offense to them. But we were seeing the ratings on our app are not good. Change requests are expensive. And take time. So I challenged the team about 3.5 years ago that, hey, let's take this on. We can build. And we built it, and now it's the highest rated app on both iOS and 4.6. And we are in control of the journey. Now we are doing something even much better, bringing the youth piece into it. And even our new platform that Hooks driving on, which is Base, is fully done here. Okay. And, Ali, there are so many times you tell me, George, I don't like this. Before, I had to probably talk to the suppliers.
I have been an equal opportunity offender there, sure.
But now I can quickly take your screenshot. And at times I connect people to you. And I'm like, tell this guy. And so within our squads, and we are in touch with Kenyans every day.
Yeah.
We don't want when Kenyans are telling us, can you do this? We're having to go talk. So we take inspiration. We follow big global tech trends. We partner with almost every big tech company. But the one thing we tell them, even as we sign contracts, be it with the East or the West, there's a component in there of knowledge transfer.
That is
and co-creation.
Crucial. Yes. That is absolutely crucial.